this morning, what I wanted to work with you all on is the actual practice and where we're moving and how we move and what we actually do. There is action. So we always talk about, oh, it's this person's karma, that person's karma. Karma just means action. That's all it means, action. And we have to know what our action is. Where it comes from, how it's motivated, and then, is it outside action? Are we doing deeper or more inner action? So let's go to Anava Upaya. Anava means other. Upaya means, and it is linked, as we have spoken before, with the first level of Saint Simeon. If we were going to do Anava Upaya, since it means other, what's the other?
Anything manifest.
Senses.
You use the senses. It's not these senses, it's using the senses. Who is God? Other. It's a dualistic understanding. Five senses. So somebody chants, I hear it. I chant, I hear it. I look at pictures, I look at stained glass, I look at a Torah, I look at something. Looking at something. Smell, incense, even taste, prasad, food. Other, right? Other. And I'm taking it in. Through what? Taking outside in. Through what? Senses. Is it going, if I do that every day, day and night, forever, is it going to get me to where I want to go?
No.
No. It is
Depends
not.
on where you want to go.
Depends on where you want to go. If I want to go to being with God, is it going to get me where to there?
No.
What's it going to get me?
Sense experiences.
Sense experiences,
Some discipline.
some discipline.
A
What's
mood.
a mood? A mood. That's what you get. It's an emotional, can be an emotional liftment. Right? Anything wrong with it?
No.
No. Should we knock it? No. Just no difference. How many people like the first grade? I liked kindergarten better than the first grade. Nothing wrong with it. Unless you think it's going to take you to being with God. Do we practice that first level? Anava Upaya?
Yes.
Yes. Do I have it? I thought I did. Yeah. Here's a mala. A rosary would be the same. We have pictures of Baba. You look at pictures of great beings. Those are all first level practices. We use incense, first level.
Saying a mantra. First level.
Last night's chant was the first level, in a way. Because, why? What's the difference between, when you say the mantra, if I'm saying the mantra, like right now, what level am I doing?
Second.
Second. Actually, I'm not, but if I'm saying it from my head, it's what level?
Sorry,
Second. If I'm saying it Gurum,
That's first.
first. Because why? What am I using?
My sense is that because I'm hearing it here.
That's right.
Okay.
If I'm using a mala, what level?
First.
First. Okay. If I'm using a mala and saying it in my head, what am I using?
First and second.
First and second. So second level, it's called Shaktupaya. And it uses what? The mind. The good part of that would be what?
Intellect.
Yeah, use your intellect, but you're remembering. So you're not remembering the bad time you had, you're remembering to say the mantra. You're remembering the concepts that you've learned. You're remembering the prayers. You're saying the prayers in your head. You study. You need your mind to study, so you're doing scripture. And you are doing that second level. So you're learning. In order to learn, we need to use that second level. What's wrong with second level?
You're in your mind.
You're in your mind. And what can happen being in your mind?
You get that chatter.
Chatter. Distraction. So that then you are only hearing
What you are fabricating for yourself.
What you're fabricating.
And you can very easily delude yourself that you're somewhere where you're not.
Just as you could in the first level.
Well, everything can become an abstraction.
Becomes an abstraction. That is the problem. Concept. Just pure concept.
Is reflecting part of the second level, or is that
Yes.
not? Okay.
Second level. Reflecting. Asking questions.
Yeah.
What are you using?
Your mind.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Reading a blog.
Reading a blog is a second level practice. Studying the blog. Going over it and over it and over it and wiping away layer upon layer of it to see a deeper level is second level. Second level.
Are there almost variants or gradations within each of the levels? Because it seems like you could do pretty intensive second level versus very light second level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No question. You know, you can be really studying scripture, or you read occasionally once in a while scripture. It depends on how often you practice and how deeply you want to go into your mind. Just as first level, what could you be doing?
You could do full ascetic devotion where you were 100% involved in some sort of ritual.
Right.
Or you could go,
Once a week.
you know, or Easter and Christmas.
Easter, Christmas, Rosh
weddings.
Hashanah, New Year's, and
exactly.
Yom Kippur, and that's it. Yep. You could go to your Friday. You could do namaz on once a week, once a year, every day, twice a day. It depends. And how are you? And then it depends what else in terms of doing that activity.
What your motivation
Where are you
is.
doing it from?
Where are you doing it from, and what else? How deep? Yeah, it is. Motivation is how deeply you're doing it. So, in Huineng, we've been reading people who have been for 10 years reading the same sutra, and thousands of times they've read the sutra, and they understood nothing. Couldn't understand. It didn't. And some of them complained that it was the sutra's fault. And, but it wasn't. What was it?
It was their fault
Why?
because they were just reading it with their eyes. They weren't.
They were reading it as almost like a first level.
Yeah.
So they were on that superficial level and never allowed themselves to go deeply into it. Yeah.
And one thing that comes up for me there is that's where you hear, these people who get into this like mysticism of sound,
Mm-hmm.
and the vibrations of the sounds when you recite the sutras, it becomes nonsense
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a first level event. If I just recite the sutra in a certain way, the vibrations will take care of things.
Right.
It's superstition.
It's almost ironic because they've taken what could have been a second level practice and
That's what I'm saying.
turned it backwards into a first level.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. A
It's
lot of
meant.
what happened in the ashram, we chanted 7-8 hours a day. And when we did scriptural chant, some of it was boring. And, to me, not all the time, but it also depended on where I was and how much I was willing to give and be there for what I was chanting and understand what it was that I was chanting. Now, the story, because this reminded me of David, the story of the little monks that the guy goes out to the island to check on them, and they're doing Mara instead of Rama, and he says, no, it's Rama. And he goes, yeah, oh, got it, Rama. And then he goes rowing back, and the monks run on water to him. Sorry, what was it again? And he said, just do it the way you were doing it. And is that just because they were vibrating correctly? What were they doing? So vibrating, what you're talking about in that vibrational thing, is just pronouncing correctly and doing that. That's not what these monks were doing. What was the point?
They were loving God while they did it.
They were going deeply in. They weren't perfect in their pronunciation and that sort of thing. So you have to be careful with that. Nothing wrong with pronouncing correctly, though in my life, not going to happen for me. But that's okay. I'm proof that you don't have to pronounce it correctly. So you go, and that second level, again, internal, right? So if you're internally saying that mantra, but thought, as St. Simeon says, thought fighting thought is the problem with that second level. Why? How?
If you're fighting thought, you're staying in thought.
You're staying in thought, and you're using what? What are you using?
Your intellect.
You're using your thought. That's all it is. Don't make it into harder than it is. You're using your thought to fight thought. That's thought fighting thought. What happens when you have thought fighting thought?
You stay there.
You stay there. You stay there. You're having a wonderful dialogue forever. That's the problem of second level. That's the danger of second level. But I have good concepts. So do I. All concept. Unidualism is what?
Focusing on one thing.
It's
Or
All
all thought. So if I'm a unidualist positively and a unidualist negative, as in it's all bad, what is it? It's all concept. If it's all concept, where am I? In the head. Am I experiencing?
No.
Am I just torturing myself?
Yes.
That's the problem of second level. So if we all got out in our cars and got in the carburetor, would we be torturing ourselves? Could we start the car? No. Is the mind, so are we our five senses?
no.
Everyone knows that? Pretty much. Good, good. That's not always been the case. Good. We're not our five senses. So in first level, what do we use?
5 senses.
Five senses. So we're driving, correct? We're driving and see, hear, smell, taste, feel, right? Are we our minds? Are we our minds?
No.
Yeah. Are we our thoughts?
Sometimes. There's time.
There's the point.
I don't think you can answer sometimes on that one.
Okay.
It's either.
You think that's what you are.
It's a nice thought.
Good concept. Good concept. So, clear? So that's where second level we get destroyed. And that's what St. Simeon talks about, how painful it is. Because we're crushed by what? Our thoughts. Our wonderful concepts. Our great ideas.
That's what he meant when he said go to your head and suffer the blows.
Who's hitting us?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. It's all in the head. Why are we suffering the blows? What is the mistake that we now, as we've been talking, don't do in the first level, but we do in the second level?
Identify with our thoughts.
Identify with our thoughts. So we've lost our
Our
subject
subject
in
and object.
object. We've objectified ourselves. It's ignorance. Yeah, impermanent to be permanent. What's non-self to be self. So, show me you would be show me you're going to show me your thought. How pretty your thoughts are. How pretty you look today. A, B, C, D. Are we our thoughts? No. So that's the problem with second level. If we do it correctly, Shaktupaya, second level, if we do it correctly, what then happens?
We start to go into the heart.
We have awareness of what are we purifying then? What are we cleaning? Our minds. Really simple. Our minds get clear and clean. We acquire knowledge and it becomes right knowledge. What do we know if we're doing right knowledge? What do we know? What do we know? We're not our minds. So are we our physical bodies? No. So we're working our way back, correct? That's important. Are we then becoming the witness of those thoughts? Those thoughts aren't us. Are they ever us? No. No matter how involved we are, no matter how much we've lost our subject and object, are they ever going to be us?
And that's why David, I think, is why he may have said it's not sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Got it?
Yeah.
So that's the greatness of, that's at the second level. Saint Simeon says it's better than the first level, just as a moonlit night is better than no moon at all. But what?
You're still not there yet.
You're still not doing the practice you need to do.
You
To
still
what?
Get out of the darkness.
To get out of the darkness, to get to be with God. You will get better benefit if you do it correctly than you would in first level. But this is not it. Shambhavupaya, third level, uses what?
Well,
Will. What does that mean, will? Because you're actually using your will. It is actually a vehicle. What is it? What does it mean?
You're redirecting yourself back down into your
That's
heart.
using your will. What's will?
Oh, what is will? Like the force of our attention.
Not bad.
Intellect.
No, that was the first. Will.
What we want.
What we want. What's want? Desire. Yeah, desire. Want. What is, when I want something, what do I do?
Focus on it.
I focus on it. I'm driven toward it. Will. So can I sit and have no will and just hang out in my head?
yeah.
Yes. So could I do second level and not ever get to third?
Yes.
Yes. What's third level? Using the will. Do I just say, I want this? No. Is it an actual? So, second level, are we actually using our mind? Yes. Does anyone question that? No, because you're not in your toes thinking, are you? No, you're not in your physical. Yeah. You're in your mind. You're using your mind. The best way you're using your mind, you're using that. First level. What are you using?
Senses.
Senses. 5 senses. Second,
Mind.
mind. What's the activity you're doing when you're in the second? You're thinking. You're thinking. First level, what are you using? What's happening? What's the activity?
Coming outside.
What's the
You're
activity?
taking things into the senses.
Taking in.
Data
Taking it.
collection.
Hmm?
Data collection.
Data collection. Yeah, you're taking in. Correct?
Yes.
Taking in. And you're using specific things to take in. You know, you particularly you're choosing to do good music, good chanting, spiritual pictures, environment, whatever, right? You're taking in data collection through the senses. Second level, what are you doing? Again, thinking. I'm by the time you're done, you'll never question this again for him. Thinking. You're thinking. What are you thinking? I don't know whether I should go to the mall today or not. No, what are you thinking? About God. So you're using what kind of good concepts? Spiritual understanding. You're reflecting in a deeper way as you go deeper. You're reading scripture. So are you supposedly taking more in?
Yes,
And how are you taking it in?
thank you.
Using your mind. Are you your mind?
No.
No. You're using your mind to take more in and realign toward where you want to go. So the first one, you were using your 5 senses to take in certain things to begin the process of realigning. Second level, you're taking in and realigning your thinking, but taking it in to spiritual or toward God, remembrance. What's third level now?
Redirect your will into the heart.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's staying internally.
Staying in, remaining grounded in who you really are. It's resting in the heart. Now, Saint Simeon says not until you bring your attention out of your head and into the heart, which in Kashmir Shaivism would say that activity is what? Second, because you're using your mind, and that the third level is just what?
Resting.
Remaining. Has anybody ever sailed?
Yeah.
Skated? Done bicycle even? Do you notice how you get to a point where you can just, and you know when you start to go this way and you bring it back. And you know you start to go this way and you know how to, if you're if you're sailing, you got that, and it's just like, you keep it just the wind, you got everything, you're holding it right there. And it becomes like this beautiful, quiet balance, and then you slightly, and then you adjust, and you could adjust, and adjust, and adjust. Skiing. I still love skiing until I end of knee. That had that same quality going down a mountain fast. It was just like, same thing. Understand? This is using the will to do the same thing. Staying there. What's happening right now, do you get that experience when you do first level? Why not?
It's all external.
But you're taking in.
You're too
But
busy.
You're too busy. It's too busy. You're still really actively operating. Yeah.
I was going to say the senses they can't do that. You can take in, but that's as far. There's only
You're only
there's
going.
so much.
Your senses go. No. There are supersensual experiences, but we're not talking about that. It's using those 5 senses from outside, taking in. Where do you end up? Where do you end up?
In your head.
In your head. In your head. Who's data collecting?
Your
The
head.
head,
The head, the intellect. Taking it in. Nothing wrong with it. So what's pratyahara? Withdrawal of the senses. So that then you are no longer what?
Responsibility.
Yeah.
So what is first level, the best first level can do for you? Help you develop pratyahara. And why do you want to have pratyahara?
So you can move on.
So you can move on. So remember, we've got the do's and the don'ts, the yamas and niyamas, the 10 commandments, same, all that. Asana. What do you want to do? What's the purpose? Body being relaxed and comfortable, quiet, not driving you crazy. Pranayama, quieting the breath. The vital energy quiets, the breath quiets, everything quiet. Pratyahara, quieting what? 5 senses. So you go to church, temple, mosque, wherever, what are we having happen?
Heightening of the sense.
But we're disciplining.
Yeah.
We're disciplining. We're no, I'm only going to look at this. I'm only going to hear this. I'm only going to smell this. I am disciplining. That's why people feel it's not freeing. They feel it's limiting because we're disciplining. We're taking down the options and possibilities. But in truth, where are we going? Ultimately, the purpose of doing that is to what? Set up the system so that we can actually go deeper. Can we, if we just do that, are we going to go deeper? No, not necessarily. You've got to do something else. That's the problem with first level. It's never going to take you. Second level, what are we doing with the mind? Disciplining it. We're disciplining it. And if we go back to pratyahara, what's the, all those 5 are considered what kind of practices? External. Those are external. Internal? No, external. To prepare us for the 3 internal of dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. Which dharana is pretty much using what?
Mind.
The mind. So we're going a little bit further in and we're using the mind. Second level. If I'm running around like a lunatic all the time, is this going to be? Not necessarily. This is not going to be disciplined. If I just do this, am I going to, and I discipline my mind, am I going to get? No. What do I have to discipline?
Your will.
The will. The will. And what is the will going to, how do we do that? I just don't eat this thing and I do that. Is that how you do your will? No. Where do we want to go? The heart. Is it just an idea of the heart? If it's an idea of the heart, where are we going? We're in the head, and what level would that be? Second, because we're dealing with what? Concepts. Concept. Oh, the heart. Oh, the heart. What the heck is that? Is there actually the heart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Have people experienced it?
Yes.
Is it the seat of your emotions?
No.
No. Where do you have to go? Do the scriptures say it? So back to second level. Do the scriptures say where the heart is? How do you? Yes,
Yeah.
they do. The Upanishads, several of the Upanishads say it. Saint Simeon say it. They all say it. They all say it. Where's the heart? How do you access? How do you get to the gate or the door of the heart?
You have to bore in.
Bore in where? We're in where?
The
Where?
center of our chest, the center of our body.
Body. Why?
It's a map.
The map. The body's a map. Is it where you feel emotion? Where what's the main thing? Where you feel love? Where you feel love? Where you feel love? What did Christ say?
Everything comes from the heart.
Everything comes out of the heart. Where do you feel that?
In the center.
So if I just put my attention here, is that it?
No.
No. So what is that? Beginning? It's a beginning, correct? And how do I do that?
That's a no.
What would that be?
First level.
First level. First level.
Second level.
Real important to know the difference. And what's going to happen? Do I just let it be there? And that's it? We're done?
You have to go farther.
So what the Indic tradition says, you go down into the center of the chest, around where the diaphragm and that area. You go in, so you bore in, and then eventually you will go and ride the Sushumna. Is that your spine?
No.
Is it a literal practice?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a letter.
It's a literal practice. It is. Is there actual right action internally? Yes. Action. Is it right idea?
No.
No. Is it right action?
Yeah.
Are you actually doing something?
Yes.
What are you using?
The will.
To what?
To
Stay
stay
put.
there.
Stay there. And what else are you, as you work it through, you're using then second level and third level you're redirecting all of your attention. Correct?
Yes.
So you're redirecting your attention where?
Into the heart.
Into the heart. And what's in the heart?
Everything.
Everything. Is that where God resides? Is that where God is sitting there waiting to speak to us?
Yes.
Yes. He's just waiting there. Our job is to go there. Is if I go, oh wow, yes. Am I doing it?
No.
What am I doing?
Conceptualizing.
I'm conceptualizing. Second level. Am I going to get anywhere?
No.
Am I going to get to God?
No.
No. Am I going to get to my idea of God?
Maybe.
Maybe. Probably.
But you could do all three levels simultaneously.
Exactly. That's the point. But if you only do one first level, you're going to get?
No.
If you're doing 1 and 2, you're going to get? No. You have to. Can you sit in some place and do 1, 2, and 3?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
You could do that anywhere.
Anywhere. Can you do third level without anything around you spiritually?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because it's not reliant on anything.
You're not using what?
First or second level.
First or second, so you're not using
The five senses.
five senses, or
The mind.
so you can have a conversation about some other completely whatever random thing. And where's your will? In the heart. Resting in the heart. And so, is this getting clearer and clearer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Third level is an actual practice It's right internal action. You keep boring in. So if you be with your experience, whatever it is, you let whatever comes up come up, and you function appropriately on the physical plane, what are you doing?
Using towards it.
You're using all three. Functioning appropriate on the physical plane, what are you using?
First level.
First level. Letting whatever comes up come up. Second. Being with your experience. Whatever it is. Third. So you're resting, being with your experience. So what will ultimately then happen with that?
You'll still whatever vibration you have.
Still whatever vibration you have.
Rest.
You will rest. What will come up?
I was like,
Love. As it goes, more and more love. And how will you function on the physical plane? Very different way.
Motivated by love.
You will be in right alignment with God. Anava Upaya, Shaktupaya, Shambhavupaya. This is what Baba taught me on the back steps after lunch every day. Is it an actual practice?
Yes.
Does anybody have to see it? Do you have to wear fancy clothes to do it? Unfortunately, no. Robes? No. Do you have to be in a specific place to do it? No. Should you be in a specific place to do it?
No.
No. Should you be doing this everywhere you are? Yes. It's all the time. So, Glenn, is it an actual practice?
Yes.
So ultimately, is surrender an activity?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have to surrender to do this? Yes. What are you surrendering?
Small self.
Your small self.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
Which is not such a bad thing after all.
No. Because as we wrongly identified as individuals, and therefore the creators of our small self, we're not that spectacular creators. God, on the other hand, is really, really a spectacular creator. So we are eliminating, by doing this practice, ignorance, and therefore losing subject and object, because we would no longer be jumping into losing our subject and object of what? Small self, which then includes all our good ideas. So any of our ideas do they all have to be surrendered?
Yes.
Not some, can I keep some of them? I want to keep some of them. Sahaj Samadhi, walking bliss, is being in the heart and looking out at the world simultaneously. So the experience is actually as if you're looking out from here. Even though you are still looking, you're using those senses, but the experience is. What happens now?
Everything gets real quiet.
And I'm going to say, because I've been harping it a bit, so sorry, we need to be practicing our pants off right now and forever. But if the ship is going this way and we want to right the ship, what do we need to be doing? Balancing it. We talk about the pralaya when the world just goes poof. But God likes to keep the game going. Do you want to keep the game going? Then practice. Do you feel limited and restricted? That's the irony, isn't it? Asserting my will everywhere is seen as freedom. I do what I want when I want. And surrendering to God is seen as limiting. How funny. If that's true, then who's the center of the universe? The small self. So we're all then competing for asserting our own free will. Free will. Hence, so much of what we have right now. Be with your experience. Let whatever comes up come up. Function appropriately on the physical plane. as you practice, do you see switching from first to second to third? Then you're resting for a minute, then you have to go back to second. Then you might hear something or smell something or something, and then you work your way back. You want to know what you're using. Oh, 5 senses. Oh, got 'em. Got it. Oh, there's my mind. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Remember. Oh, right, remember. What am I doing? Oh, right, second level. Ah, redirect. Attention. Is it a practice? Are you actually practicing? Yes. Are you supposed to be conscious? Yes. So are you any of those vehicles? No. Are you your will? No. You're not your will. Not the will. Not the mind. Not the 5 senses. So we actually do what? We go, we're using them so that they then don't what? Use us. So we have to not be identified with them. We not lose our subject and object of them. We are disentangled. And the more we practice, what happens to who and where we reside? Completely changes. Does anyone notice there's more time? You have more time. There's no time when. Can you speak and be in your heart?
Yes.
Can you do it out there at the supermarket?
Yeah.
Eventually. Can you do it now?
Yes.
No. Can you pick out the cucumbers and be in your heart at the same time?
Should be able to.
So what do? Practice. Do you know what the practice is now?
Yeah.
Is it clear? Is it different from what you thought?
Yes.
Is it a concept? Only if you're working in the head, second level. What did Evelyn Underhill say about idealists. They're okay.
A diagram of the heavens. Is that the one?
Yeah.
But not a ladder.
There's no ladder.
Yeah.
They have beautiful pictures, beautiful diagrams. Oh my God. That's like saying, oh, the heart, the heart. But then when you ask the idealist, how do you get there? How do you get to the stars they so beautifully diagrammed? I don't know. Why not?
It's all concepts.
It's all concepts. There's no ladder. What about the mystics?
Practice.
They practice.
It's all
There's-
practice.
There's action. There's a ladder. They can tell you how to do it. Why and how can they tell you how to do it? They're walking. They're walking it. Okay. Practice. Be with your experience. Let whatever comes up come up. From the vibration and function appropriately on the physical plane. Thank you.
Thank you.